Are you ready to learn? Because my super experienced guests are ready to share some really valuable information. Make sure and listen all the way to the end to get help and support. So let's start with the best audio experience.
Hello guys and welcome to our show. Today we discuss about branding, how you can unite creating brand awareness with your marketing strategy. It's very important today to go ahead with strong brand recognition. And I'm so excited to discuss this topic with Bobby G. How are you?
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, for me, it's a big pleasure. I know about your extended experience. I check out your profile. I found your content. I know it's so valuable for me because, I love learning something new. I love learning from the best. That's why I'm so excited to learn today more. Before we start, just tell more about your experience, background, and why you decided to share with us about marketing strategy and creating brand awareness.
So I'm Bobby G. I'm the founder of Proper. We are a brand strategy and creative agency. I'm also an author of the book, Build Your Brand Like You Give a Shit, just published last month. And I founded my company after a successful career, both in-house and at agencies, because I just felt that the way agencies were operating was just very transactional, but also not really focused on strategic outcomes and results for the client. So, the origins of Proper and our really at our core is, helping our clients have the courage to ask, is this what's best for our brand and our future customer? As well as the clarity to be able to answer that question, because that is the most important question to ask in any sort of leadership role within a company. Is when you're making decisions, it has to be quantified, and the bigger the potential impact on that decision, the more dangerous it can be if you're just using whims or opinions, but really focusing on what your brand stands for and what your customer needs is really going to help you and all the brands out there make better decisions and get better outcomes.
Yeah, love it. Bobby, I'm sorry, but I missed your book. I passed it, but I'm going to fix soon because I love reading books. I love learning from books. For me, I don't know, books work much better than any other type of content. I love the foundation of the skills. And I remember someone told me, what is the main reason between books and blog posts? It's a big difference because on books, the authors usually spend like 6 months, an year to write a book. But the blog post you can write like for a few hours, days. And can you give me a solid reason to read your book? And for my audience, because I'm going to put your book on my list. I have a huge list with many books, prominent experts, but I'm so excited to learn more about creating brand awareness and share benefits. What kind of benefits can you provide with your book, and give a solid reason to read it?
So I love books too. It's such an intimate, personal experience with you and the printed word on paper, right? And you think about all the books and all the experiences we've had, they contribute to our point of view and our wisdom and our knowledge, right? So the reason I wrote the book is because I wanted to give that back. All of my ideas and experiences are not new. They're the culmination of 200,000-300,000 years of people sharing information and stories together. So what my book
I see it. Red book.
It's a bit of an orange and black, but the reason folks should pick up my book is because really what I'm convinced of is the brands that are more authentic and really purpose driven. And the purpose doesn't necessarily it doesn't have to be like Patagonia or the Sierra Club, right? That's about saving the earth. Like that should obviously be important to you. But the purpose of your brand and your business is what's going to unify your team, but also make you likable and approachable to your customers. So for us at Proper, like our purpose is to empower and help our clients become self-sufficient. And it's really, that's my purpose in life. And, you know, when you can really commit and immerse yourself in your purpose through business and your career, it's really fulfilling. And, you know, so we want people to focus on what matters most. Of course, transactions are important because we are in business, but your transactions doesn't have to come at a greater cost to you, your team, your community, the planet's greater good. You know, so when I started the company, really what I wanted to prove, and by example, is that you can be a good human and treat people well and be very successful in business. And, you know, really the overnight success, the hacks, the growth gimmicks, all that stuff is BS. And really focusing on what matters most, why you started this company, why you're a part of this company, what attracts the right people to your team, what attracts the right customers, why are they the right customers, really focusing on those things really will just strip down any of the complexity in your business and help you grow sustainably.
Nice. I want to share why I'm going to read this book. Let me explain. You know, I don't remember exactly, but like 5 years ago, I had one project. I failed completely, wasted resources for 3 years, and I didn't care about customers. I didn't care about anything to bring value, because I found one way how I can earn a lot of money. So yeah, my main goal was to earn money, but during some time I failed and got it no way. I didn't have experience with that. I have no passion. Why I need to go ahead? So I quit. And I remember Neil Patel shares his story when he bought website about poker and couldn't rank well, couldn't earn money with that because he doesn't know about poker. He doesn't play poker, you know, or how he can help with this project if he doesn't know anything about this direction. So you mentioned that you need to consider customers, you need to learn them. So I think businesses in trouble when they are chasing money, when they are chasing results. But if you chase customer satisfaction, if you chase how to help and support as maximum as possible, then results will come. So I changed these approaches after failing, because for me, failing only brings new experience, nothing else. So I've learned, got it, no way. So I started to pay more attention to customers, to my followers on social media. I help them, and it's a good idea to grow, to create brand awareness. And I have another question about branding strategy. Can you tell how to create this branding strategy? Because I found that many businesses have no strategy at all. They don't list goals. They just use totally the same methods that their competitors have. They analyze them. Okay, I wanna replicate because they are successful, but they don't consider their strong side. They don't consider their unique selling proposition, and it's the wrong way. You can't overcome them by replicating. People have these brands. They know their competitors, but you need to bring something new. Can you tell about business strategy?
Yeah, it's pretty simple, right? So while my book is called Build Your Brand Like Give a Shit, it's a book about branding that has nothing to do with design. It has nothing to do with messaging. What it has everything to do with is your reputation, because all those things like design and writing, your website and your campaigns, those are all expressions of your brand. And what is your brand? Well, it's your reputation, and your reputation defines you. So you got to think about what's the reputation we want, and it has to be authentic. Naval Ravikant, big Silicon Valley guy, pretty smart, super successful. He said that, when you are your authentic self, you have no competition because no one can compete with you on being you. So that's brand strategy. Who are we? Right? What do we really care about? What's really important to us? What are the non-negotiable aspects of our business? What will we fight for, both literally and figuratively? What's the most important things? What's our purpose? Why did we start this company? Where are we going? Why do we get up every day? What's the most fulfilling aspects of this company? What are the most frustrating aspects? How can we get more fulfillment and less frustration? And all of those things are at the essence of what your brand foundation is. What are, you think about, marketing, particularly like Seth Godin. Seth Godin says everything is marketing. I agree. But what you're marketing is your brand. So you're not marketing a message, you're not marketing a product, you're not marketing a service. Those are just commodities. You're marketing an idea and a reputation. How are you making people feel, right? So when people say, do you remember the last interaction you had with this brand? No, but I remember it made me feel like shit. Or I remember it made me feel really good. So those are the things that people are going to remember and talk about. So when you get people to talk about your brand reputation, you want to earn the reputation you want because you're going to get the one you deserve. So if you're doing terrible things and you're using a bunch of PR money to try to balance that out, you're wasting money, one, but you're also lying to the community, to the customers, to your employees, right? So if you say that you really care about X, Y, and Z, and you're doing all the things to make sure that you accomplish that while being a good steward and a good business and treating your employees properly and all those good things, and like that reputation will be solidified. For example, let's talk about a story. Earlier this year, fellow West Philly guy, Will Smith, right, slapped Chris Rock in the face.
Yeah.
So you think about how fragile your reputation is. So your brand strategy has to be focused on, we can't waver, we have to commit to this. So Will Smith's brand is now, he slapped Chris Rock, right? He's violent. He can't control his temper. He's aggressive, angry, right? All this unreasonable. And he was okay with doing that on a national stage. But before that moment, he was wholesome. He was a sure bet, Hollywood, good guy, and a role model. But after that event, he's no longer that. It's all ruined, which makes you say, well, the guy before that event that was wholesome and safe and a good guy, was that real? Or was the violent guy the real one? Either way, you're thinking and remembering that slap. So how does that apply to your brand strategy, right? Well, it comes back to like, what are we trying to do here? What do we want to be known as? And you don't want to be known as your services or features or ingredients. Like I said, those are commodity. Those are important. But if you're competing on like, we have the best ingredients or we have the best service, like, people are going to be like, well, they do it a little bit better and they're a little bit cheaper. We're just going to go to them. But if you're really digging into your brand strategy, it's like, well, we're really trying to accomplish this. We're really trying to make your life better through better software or better service or better products, better websites that are focused on this, and this. Like, okay, there's more than just a commodity here. There's expertise, there's passion, there's drive, right? They're trying to be better. Even when they mess up, we're all going to mess up. They're owning it, right? And think about like, okay, do we really put our customers first? Or is that just lip service? Well, if it's lip service, stop saying it. If you really want to put your customers first, then do it. And you won't need to promote that because your customers won't stop talking about it. So again, it's about authenticity, but it's about like, what's the clear direction we want to go in? What do we want to be known for?
Yeah, awesome. And you mentioned about Seth Godin, and once I read his interview that he stopped reading his Amazon reviews on his book from since 2011. So he
Okay.
doesn't want to know that someone doesn't like his books. And you mentioned about being yourself. So yeah, great approach. Because I see when companies can learn their customers, understand their pain points, but they they can diminish this meaning to be yourself, to stand out from the rest. And Seth Godin is a great example because he doesn't want to know that someone doesn't like his books. He doesn't want to know that these books are not good for someone, because in marketing we have interesting quote: if you sell to anyone, you sell to nobody. And can you tell more about being yourself? Because I even about Seth Godin. No, he can write awesome books. He can understand customers, but some irrelevant customers, people can take this book because of knowing his name, because of knowing that he can create valuable stuff, but it doesn't connect it with them. So that's okay. No worries about that. Can you tell about creating strategy, but leaving the room to be yourself, even you can't connect everything with your customer pain points?
Well, being yourself just is easier and more sustainable. So like pushing like fake it till you make it. There's a whole chapter on that's like actually the first chapter. It's just terrible advice. Fake it till you make it means you're starting a relationship with a new customer, new client, based on a lie or deception. And anybody who's been in any relationship, we all have, that we know that with lies and deception, that the relationship's doomed. So if you're starting with authenticity and realness, like just, do that. But also like you can have a desire for a future state of your business, right? If your business is small, but you want to grow to a mid-size, like you can look the part as long as you can deliver on your promise. That's vision. But saying that, but using some sort of deceit or clever wording or language, like that's dangerous, right? For example, when I started the company, we got hired to design an app. And we don't really do that now, but when the company was early, we're just trying to figure it out. And they asked, "Have you ever designed an iOS app before?" I said, "Nope, but I can't wait to learn." Now I could have said yes, but I said no. But I added on that I'm looking forward to figuring it out. So what they did was like, they were developing it, we were designing it. They said, "Great, it's yours. We'll put you on with our iOS lead, and they'll help make sure you touch the right stuff, you design the right stuff, you have all the specs and documentation you need to be successful." If I said yes, I do, we have designed them, right? I would have lied. We would have been on an island. They wouldn't have given us the support we needed to be successful. We would have been frustrated. They would have been frustrated. Instead, I was honest and said, "No, we haven't, but we can't wait to learn." And it's not like we had never designed an interface before. It was just unique. And then the project was super successful, and they've worked with us a number of times since then. So again, like it's just being honest and authentic, but it's not, doesn't mean you have to be the best in the world at what you do. It just means you have to have a vision for the future state of your company. And that's what the leaders are really, I'm trying to encourage and empower leaders to do through the book. So how do you create a strategy around that? Is really the vision for your company. Where do you want to be in a year or 2 years, 5 years or 10 years? And a lot of companies today are putting financial people in the chief executive role. And I find that to be very dangerous. Why? Well, financial people are looking at data. and data is looking backwards. And CEOs and senior leadership need to be setting the vision that's looking forward. Of course, the data is helpful, right? We want to know, we want to be informed. That's why we read books, right? That's why we listen to podcasts, and this stuff is important to feed our mind to make better decisions. But when you're setting the strategy for your company, it's not based on Q3 numbers. It's based on where we want to be in Q3 in 5 years. So as leaders of our companies, in your company, like we need to set that vision for the future. But then we need to rely on our people to optimize every day, to keep us honest, to make sure that we hit that goal, hit that future state, or pivot as necessary because you might be completely bananas. It's unattainable, or it's too low, right? Like, let's shoot higher. So it's setting that vision, optimizing the present, keeping honest, and really, where do you want to be and what do you want to be known as is the question that we really need to be pondering while we're walking the dogs or going on a run. Like, that's the stuff that's going to really help us establish that strategy for that getting there.
Yeah, love it. Let's talk about long plan strategy. You mentioned that, when people are looking for data, or I don't know, for quick results. For me, I don't know how to achieve quick results, and it takes time to implement, to test, to fail many times, adapt to new challenges, and go ahead. And let's talk about long plan strategy. How to find the right platform for creating brand awareness, because we have many different resources, SEO, social media, and how to find the right platform, and consider long plan strategy, because I often get the question how I build my audience on LinkedIn. I didn't do it for one day, for a few weeks, a few months. I spent like a few years to engage with others, to build relationships, to comment a lot, to spend like 4-8 hours a day just to build this audience. When I share my tips with others, when they ask me how to do it, just engage with others, build relationships, share value. For example, if you find a relevant post, leave your comment, not like thank you, great post, bring extra value, additional value. If you help others, people wanna more value. They wanna get extra value, and they open your profile and follow you because they wanna get new value. That's it. Simple.
Yeah.
So. It takes time, but I see when companies give up. When they start some strategy, okay, I have the strategy, I want to build my audience like 100,000 followers, 1,000 customers, and after some time they give up because they are looking for quick results. Can you tell about, and you mentioned about that, it's dangerous. Can you tell about creating long plan strategy and finding the right place where you can achieve these results?
Well, you want to go where your customers are, right? So like, it really starts with what you do for whom. And when you identify who your ideal customer is, like really using empathy, like truly map out what's important to them, how they measure success, what are pains for them, what are gains for them, like why do they need us? And like using that to make right decisions, but also like, where are they being influenced? Who are they talking to? What are they thinking? What channels are they on? And using those channels to get in front of them. Like Chelsea, our director of getting shit done at Proper, always says, like, is this going to bring the customer value? If not, it's not worth doing. And, there's no shortage of people that telling you to gate and hide your content because everybody coming for it is a potential lead. Like, that's bad advice. Give it away, because you're going to establish yourself and your company as experts. And the rule of reciprocity proves that if you give, you will get. So like if you're giving away value, if you're giving away ideas and insights that are helping people, they're going to look to you when they're ready to buy and say like, oh, I need to hire this person because they've really resonated with me. They built a relationship with me, like through media, that you feel like you know them and trust them because it's, one, authentic, but two, it's helpful. So you're like, oh, you know what? Like this person showed us their software or their processes. Like that doesn't mean that we're going to go and take their software and recreate it. No, like we're going to go to them if it's the right software for us, or their processes on consulting and creating. Like, oh, I see how they do it. We're not going to go and do it ourselves. We're going to need them to do it. So putting that together into a business strategy is almost give it away, because we want our customers to decide that they're going to hire us way before they do it. Yeah. Even before they're ready, when they're not even looking. When I started the company, I remember once people realized that I was not working for someone else, a lot of people said, we've been waiting for you to go out on your own. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? Right. But I wasn't listening. I wasn't paying attention. And, it's because they liked me. They liked my work. They trusted me. They liked, how I talk and all those things that make up my reputation. The same goes for your, whether it's a personal brand or a business. Like you want to be the decision. You want the decision process to be harder not to hire you or choose you, than it is to go somewhere else. And like when you're competing on products and services and features, you're not making a compelling argument as to why you're better and why they should come to you. But if you're competing on like authenticity and communicating value to your customers and showing them social proof that we're not just saying this, but we've done it and we've done it for these people. Don't take our word for it. Like that's going to build a digital footprint and a reputation so that when they are ready to buy, like they've already made up their decision. They're just coming and it's our job to make it easy for them to buy at that point.
Awesome. Let me quote from your LinkedIn profile. Bobby G is an author, entrepreneur, speaker, and founded Proper in 2014 brand strategy and creative agency. Let's talk about creativity. You touched a lot about branding, but once I had the conversation with Jim Edwards. He worked in Business Insider for 10 years. They started the company from scratch and sold the company for $500 million, 1,000 employees. He told about their secret sauce. Secrets. He told that they decided to create content in boring niche, but create non-boring content. So creative content, interesting, excitement content. And I found that many business books are good for sleep. When you have the problem with sleeping, you can take one business book, read, and sleep well all night and don't remember anything from this book.
Right.
Let's talk about creativity. Can you tell how to create something meaningful, interesting, excitement? Because I see when companies just replicate, and if you use something that was used before, customers might have seen. It's a big chance they get this advertisement, and you can get them. It's the same like I don't know. I often ask my friends about a new movie, and they reply, nothing special. It's the same plot. I've seen a lot of such movies. It's not creative. Can you tell about creativity? How to create something creative that people want to consume, that take our attention, that catch our time. Let's talk more about creativity.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I I was very deliberate when I was writing my book that it wasn't a 260-page blog post. And a lot of these business books are blog posts that they just stretched out into 260 pages. My book's not 260 pages, nor is it a long blog post. But creativity, right? You think about creativity. Creativity is the ability to see something that doesn't exist and, have a vision or an idea. For example, I've been hearing for decades from clients like, oh, I don't have a creative bone in my body. I say, well, if you locked your keys in your car, would you be able to figure out how to get them out? Sure. Well, that's problem solving. That requires creativity, creative thinking. So when you think about creativity and applying it to your brand, well, like you said, there's of course copying what other people have done or being very inspired by a very limited amount of resources or inspiration. But when we talk about creativity, first thing we want to do is make sure that it's innovative. So someone say, well, we need a new logo and a new website and new messaging and new positioning. Okay. Well, that just opens up an infinite number of potential solutions. Why is this color better than that color? Why is this type better than that type? Why is this interface or layout or information architecture better than that one? Well, we don't know because we're dealing in the infinite of creativity. So the first thing you want to do is say, okay, well, what parameters can we put in place? So we're ensuring that what creative solutions we're providing, thinking about, they are in our appropriate space. So this is what's right for our brand. Everything outside that circle is not right. So with parameters around creativity, what you're doing is enabling innovation. And in that innovation is where special stuff happens. So whenever we get in any project, the first thing we do is identify what is this brand at its core? What do you care about? What's the personality, the core message, your purpose? What's the right aesthetic? What's the right tone of voice? So when we're writing things, it's like an article I wrote last year. Is your brand Harrison Ford or Hulk Hogan? And like, well, if it's not Harrison Ford, is it Hulk Hogan? No, but who is it, right? And keep going down. That's an exercise that you can do, like, to identify a tone of voice that is approachable and accessible to other people because they've heard it and they get it, right? Samuel L. Jackson or Obama, right? Like, okay, we get that feeling. We can feel what that tone of voice is for the brand. So it's really about putting it around what's right and what's not right for your brand, and that's building the right foundation that's going to really empower anybody who's doing anything creative for your company, whether it's design or writing or even campaign and marketing strategy. If we know what's right for us and we know what's right for our customers, then you have some really good insights and direction as to how to make more impact with what you're investing in marketing.
Yeah, nice, valuable. We have the question about course. Do you know some special course that can help others to improve their marketing strategy? Any insights about courses?
Oh, geez. First, read my book. I guess that's where you should start. A course to help with marketing strategy. So I kind of learned all this stuff organically. When we're faced with a problem, my initial thought is, how do we prevent this problem from happening again? as well as how do we solve it. So you don't want to focus on symptoms. You want to take a step back or take that hot air balloon up a little higher and say, like, okay, what's causing those symptoms? And how do we fix that? So not only are we making these problems that are symptoms of something greater, like, mitigate it, but we're preventing them from happening again, because there's always going to be problems, right? So the initial pain right now, we're focusing like, how do we solve this problem? Well, it's like, well, what's causing it too? And then you handle that, so you're becoming a healthier organization. But courses to help your brand strategy, man, I would say really listen to conversations like this. I don't know per se if there is a course I would recommend, but learn from people with experience. Like, you don't need to actually know, Seth Godin to be mentored by him. There's enough of content and ideas out there that you could say, like, okay, what would Seth Godin do here? How would he address this? And it's really kind of like a surrogate mentor. Like, you can have mentors that are alive, dead, you've never met before, and just be inspired by them and emulate them and say, okay, how can I be better here? In terms of practicality of marketing strategy, don't ever subscribe to dogma or gospel. There is no one way to market. So with like inbound and outbound and account-based marketing and content, podcasting and writing books, like all that stuff are just different tactics. But focus on what your goals are, where to get the best return on any investment you're making, and create a custom solution based on what you can afford, what your immediate goals are, and what your long-term goals are. And you'll be better off. Like, just because somebody used video and got some results from that doesn't mean that that's right for your company or your situation. It may contribute to success, but put together a plan that's really rooted in your unique business, what's best for your brand, what's best for your future customers, and constantly measure it, assess it, and pivot as needed.
Yeah. I think I'm on the same boat, because I learned organically anything. I love reading books because once I asked my audience on LinkedIn their favorite way to learn something, and many of them tell 56% tell that courses are the best way. That's okay. You can find courses because they have logical structure, some chains.
Right.
I'm going to launch my SEO course soon.
Sure.
But I'm going to launch my course with plus 20 well-known world experts, like Lily Ray, many others. But if you ask me, I can learn from some resources, your loving resources, video, articles, courses, books, but the best way is to implement, to practice, to act. If you overlearn and do nothing, I don't know how you can achieve results. For me, any type of content, it's only the door you need to open and then go with implementation, because you can change everything. I remember when I've learned best practices about LinkedIn growth, nothing worked for me, but I opened the door, I tried, I failed, I tested, and then found something that works for me. And I love what you mentioned, that for example, if your competitors are using video, it doesn't mean that you need to use videos, because I failed with videos many times, because my competitors have strong experience with video content. I'm not, so why I need to consider video content if it's not my strong side? I love video content, by the way, but it doesn't mean that you need to replicate competitors. if you have your strong side, consider. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Bobby, I have the final question. Can you tell what will you do today if you started from scratch without any experience, knowledge, skills to learn more about creating brand strategy?
If I was going to start my company today, I would charge. If I was starting my company today,
I mean, like, what you need to, for example, iPhone, that I usually get higher results with customers who understand SEO. So they don't need to be experts because it takes time through experience to learn about
Right.
all this information. But if they understand SEO, we can get much higher results. So, for example, if some companies want to increase brand awareness to get this strong brand recognition, what to do today if you have no skills, knowledge, anything with that, but you need to get the basics about creating brand strategy, or probably to become an expert like you, in one shiny day, if someone wanna to go deeply with that.
I would say the most important thing to do is really establish your purpose as a company and make sure that you're hiring people that share that enthusiasm for that purpose. Having a staff that is working towards a common goal together will really make a big difference. If you're smaller than having staff, clarify what you do and for whom, and what makes you different. And what makes you different is, again, back to your purpose, who you are, being authentic. Do not subscribe to any gimmicks or hacks or any dogma. Really focus on getting your message in front of the right people, and being really clear about what you do and how you can help. But to put my biz dev hat on, but also make it easy for them to hire you or to buy from you. A lot of companies, you go to websites and things, and you're like, this is the company for me, but you have no idea how to convert. Or they're beating you over the head with pop-ups to sign up for their email, but you just want to buy something, right? So really focus on why you're doing it, who you're doing it for, and why it matters to them.
Yeah, nice, valuable. Okay, guys, I know one more way how you can learn more about creating brand awareness. You need to follow Bobby G on social media to learn from him, because you can see a lot of valuable insights. And one more, read his book, because you can get a lot more foundation of creating brand awareness. Bobby, yeah, if you can share a link to this book on Amazon, I'll share and add to description to this podcast.
Sure.
And tell our audience how they can reach out to you, learn more about you, follow you.
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. It's my primary channel. I'm putting content up there constantly. My handle is that Bobby G, ThatBobbyG. Or you can come find us on our website, properagency.com, proper spelled PROPR agency.com. And just reach out if you need some help or you need some advice. I'm always willing to give it out. Just be careful what you ask me, because I'm going to probably answer it.
Okay, guys, you can find all these links in the description below. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify. Thanks again for your time. A big pleasure. Welcome back anytime to share more valuable insights. I love it.
Thank you.
To read your book. I highly recommend to anyone to read this book, because if you want to know more, just do it. Okay, guys, love you. See you.
Keep it real.